I think the single most important thing in business and life is just tenacity. You need to go and go with gusto. And people are so afraid of failure. And I said, guess what? You never have to fail again. Never. Because if you do something and it doesn't come out the way you want it to, don't look at that as failure. Look at that as practice. You really only fail when you quit. So if you don't want to fail anymore, don't quit.
Welcome to the Mitlin Money Mindset Show. This is a podcast about the financial, money, and recreational mindset needed to successfully plan for and live your best life before and through retirement. Let's dive into today's show.
The opinions voiced in the Mitlin Money Mindset Show with Lawrence Sprung are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. No strategy ensures success or protects against loss. To determine what may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial or tax advisor prior to investing. Investment advisory services offered through CWM LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Guests on the Mitlin Money Mindset Show are not affiliated with CWM LLC.
I'm Larry Sprung, your host for the Mitlin Money Mindset Show and founder and wealth advisor of Mitlin Financial. Today's guest is Dr. Bill Dorfman. Dr. Bill, as he is better known, is the founder of Discus Dental. Dr. Bill is referred to as the Michael Jordan of dentistry. He has been practicing for over 30 years in the Beverly Hills area and has had a career unparalleled to any other dentist in history. Dr. Bill has transformed the smiles of celebrities such as Katy Perry, Usher, Anthony Hopkins, Fergie, Hugh Jackman, Michael Strahan, and even Mark Wahlberg. In addition, he has helped create one of the world's leading dental companies and helped it grow from inception to over $1.3 billion in sales. When not fixing people's smiles, Dr. Bill is a huge philanthropist who has helped raise over $44 million for children's charities. I cannot wait to share this conversation that Dr. Bill and I had, so let's get started. Well, Dr. Bill, thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, Larry.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm going to jump right in because I'm really excited to have this conversation. You have a remarkable story. Can you tell us what led you to become known as America's dentist?
It was one of those things that just happened and it stuck. Back in 2003, I started doing one of the first really popular reality TV shows called Extreme Makeover on ABC.
Right.
And as a result of doing that show, I was invited to pretty much every talk show that was on the air at the time. And I don't know, I think it was Rosie O'Donnell who said, "And here's America's dentist." And then after that, it just stuck.
Wow. So you went viral before you actually could go viral on the internet, I guess, right?
I went viral before COVID went viral.
The passion that you have for people and their smiles, it's really infectious. Why are smiles so important?
It's the first thing that people notice about you, and it says so much. And one of the biggest problems is that for people who don't have a nice smile, who are ashamed or embarrassed by their teeth, they tend to hide it. And their reason for hiding it is shame. But what we see is an unfriendly person. Oh my gosh, this person won't smile at me. This person is not a nice person. And it may have nothing to do with any of that. They may be missing half their teeth.
Right. I'm sure because of your work, you've had a tremendous impact on people because of the work that you do and with their smile. Can you maybe share with us a situation where you help somebody with their smile and the impact that it had on that person's life? Because I'm sure people love sharing those types of stories with you, how you had such a positive impact on them.
I mean, pretty much every time we do a smile makeover, but one of the ones that we had on ABC's Extreme Makeover was with a beautiful young woman named Deshante who had a cleft lip and cleft palate. And so for those of you that don't know what that means that you're basically born with a split in your lip that goes from the lip all the way up to your nose. So there's like a flap, and oftentimes you have that same defect in the palate, and which is what she had. So she had the lip closed surgically. It wasn't great, but she was missing teeth, her front teeth. And for a beautiful young woman, that's quite debilitating. And when she came on the show, Dr. Tony Griffin surgically repaired her lip, and I went ahead and I made her a bridge to close up that space, and then some more veneers to kind of even out her smile and make it brighter and nicer. And it literally transformed her life like that. I mean, this is a woman who never, ever in her life had kissed anybody. And 4 months after we did her makeover, she got married.
Oh, wow.
And she sent me this beautiful card, and she said, Dr. Bill, it's a bittersweet thing, but in our society, people judge a book by its cover. And the cover that I had was not the book that I am. And it was really pretty touching and amazing.
I think it's great. I mean, I come from a family of hockey players, and fortunately, we all have our teeth. So I can only imagine what it's like for somebody not to have either have teeth or have a situation where, like you said, that first impression that you have is that smile in many cases. And if you don't have a good one or you don't feel comfortable, it really makes for an uncomfortable situation when you're meeting people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the impact you had on this gal's life with a situation that she was born with. What an amazing story, how you could turn somebody's life around like that in a way that she'll remember for the rest of her life.
Yeah. No, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I always tell my kids I'm one of the few people who wakes up every day, goes to work, and I literally change people's lives every day. There aren't a lot of jobs in this world where you can say you actually do that.
That's true. It's very true.
And at the end of the day, I make them smile.
Hey, listen, I know that we've been told from very young ages, right? We're always told, hey, it takes more effort to frown than smile, which my understanding is it's true. So why not smile? But I never thought until you mentioned it, maybe that person's not smiling because they don't feel comfortable with what's behind the smile. And that's a great point that you opened my eyes to, because it's not something I had thought about previously. But next time the person across from me, if they're not smiling, I'll have to think about that and take that into consideration.
Yeah, just look at them and say, hey, do you have teeth?
Then they'll have to smile, right? Whether they like it or not. You had the opportunity. You started Discus Dental, and you helped grow this company really from a startup, from inception to over $1.3 billion in sales. So I'm sure you had some instances along the way, and you talk about it. You talk about only failing when you quit. And if you don't quit, it's called practice. And you talk about how this is your secret to success. Why is this so important, this mindset that you talk about where you only fail when you quit, and if you don't, it's practice?
I mean, I think the single most important thing in business and life is just tenacity. You need to go with gusto. And people are so afraid of failure. And I said, guess what? You never have to fail again. Never. Because if you do something and it doesn't come out the way you want it to, don't look at that as failure. Look at that as practice. You really only fail when you quit. So if you don't want to fail anymore, don't quit. I mean, it's pretty easy.
And I'm sure in the process of building your company, there were probably instances along the way that you hit trouble spots like that, right? It wasn't a straight up trajectory. There were bumps and bruises, I would imagine, along the way for you.
Oh, no. It was like Christmas every day. You don't even know the problems that you're going to encounter, because hindsight is golden. I mean, there are so many things that had you known would never have been a catastrophe, right? But you know what? You deal with it. And I mean, one of the things that differentiates successful people from unsuccessful people is successful people are willing to do the things they need to do to get stuff done.
Right.
And they get stuff done. I mean, I can't even believe how many people just are waiting for the universe to show them something. Like, what? Stop. The universe is pretty busy. It doesn't care about you. You want to make things happen, make them happen. Look, I run a motivational leadership program for high school and college kids called LEAP. It's amazing. We've been doing this for 13 years. Last year, we had to do it virtually, but until then, it's always been in person. And we teach kids 15 to 25 the skills that they need to be successful in life. And I've been so fortunate by the great support that I've had from the community. I mean, look at the lineup of speakers we've had. Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Hopkins, Eva Longoria, Kathy Bates, Paula Abdul, Michael Strahan, Apollo Ono, Usher. I mean, I could go on and on and on and on and on. I mean, it's really an amazing experience. And these kids come and they live at UCLA for a week and we bring in great speakers. This isn't about dentistry. This is about life. This is about any job you want to do in your life. And I always say if there's two things that I would love for the kids to walk away with, it's this. Number one, don't wait for opportunities in life, make them.
So you just dispelled the whole myth about good things come to those who wait, right? Doesn't really exist.
Yeah. You know what happens for people who wait? Nothing. They keep waiting. Okay. And number two, when you do get an opportunity, don't take it, master it. And there's a big difference. Look, when ABC put me on Extreme Makeover, I was great with dentistry. TV, not so good. I literally stunk. I mean, if you watch the first 3 or 4 episodes, I was so bad they should have fired me. But instead of sitting there and feeling sorry for myself, I was smart enough to know I stunk, and I went out and I did something about it. And I took acting classes, hosting classes, teleprompting classes. I wanted to be the best version of me I could be. Why? Because it was a direct correlation with sales. The second that show hit the air, our company's sales exploded. We had plateaued at, we went from 2 million to 4 million to 8 million. We had plateaued at like $64 million a year, and we could not break that barrier. The first year I was on Extreme Makeover, we did 101 million. The second year we did 136, and the third year we did nearly $200 million in sales.
That's amazing.
It was amazing.
And so I guess the investment that you made, because I wouldn't say cost, because I think anybody who would say cost has the wrong mindset. The investment that you made in yourself for those acting classes and to master your craft, I would say pretty much paid for themselves.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, there's a really important lesson here, Larry. We've all heard practice makes what?
Everybody says perfect.
Right. Not true.
I disagree with that as well.
Practice makes permanent.
Bingo.
And so when I realized what I was doing wasn't working, instead of doing it a lot and a lot and a lot, I went ahead and I found somebody who could mentor me, who could teach me. I did a mid-course correction and I learned how to be better at something that I wasn't good at. And people who continue to do the same thing wrong over and over and over again will never succeed. You need to be smart enough to know when you're not good at something and just fess up and say, look, I stink at this, and get help, get mentor, get education. My mantra is learn so you can earn and then return. And if you can live by that, you will have a very fulfilled and satisfying life.
I love that. Can you repeat that one more time for our listeners? Because I think that is a great mantra.
Learn so you can earn and then return.
That's awesome. I agree with you 1,000%. We talk to my kids all the time. Everybody says practice makes perfect. And we're like, hey, if you try to be perfect, you're just setting yourself up for failure because nobody really is perfect. You want to set it up for that permanent. You want to make sure that you can identify how to make yourself better and just keep striving in that direction every day. And I think you nailed it there.
And I'll tell you something else, Larry. Talking to kids doesn't have a lot of impact. Doing with kids does. You can talk till you're blue in the face. I grew up in Granada Hills. We were poor. My kids grew up in Beverly Hills. They were not poor. I didn't like a lot of the stuff I saw with their kids, friends, and all. I started taking my kids on humanitarian trips from the time they were 5 years old to some of the poorest places in the world where we would do free dentistry on kids, because I wanted my kids not to grow up in this bubble of Beverly Hills. I wanted them to see what the real world was like. So as a parent, yeah, you can tell your kids a lot of things, but if you really want to make an impact, if you really want to change their life, don't tell them, show them. Take them, do things. There are places where you can go and do community service projects with your kids. I mean, get involved and actually do things with your kids. It's like the man that stands there smoking a cigarette and tells his son, don't ever smoke. Like, really? What kind of message are you giving, right? If you want to raise kids that are socially conscious and socially aware, get them involved at an early age and show them.
I agree. Now, that LEAP program you mentioned, that's for high school and college kids, right?
Right. And if you want more information, you can go to www.leapfoundation.com. The next program will be July 18th to the 24th at UCLA. If we have to do it live and virtual, we will. In fact, as soon as I finish this interview with you today, I'm getting my second COVID injection, so I should be bulletproof in 7 days.
Well, good for you. I think everybody's going to be looking to be bulletproof in the coming months, right? So, yeah, I think that's great. You get to show these impressionable minds. They're getting ready to get into the workforce and show them what and how the tools that they need to succeed in this environment. I think it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, listen, you've done a lot in your career. You've been very philanthropic. You've had a very successful dentistry career, very successful with Discus Dental and its growth. So what's the next major milestone you're striving for in your life and career?
I've got two big products I'm launching next year, which I'm super excited about. I don't want to announce them yet. I'm not even ready for like a soft launch, but I'm super duper excited about that. I'm excited to get LEAP back virtual and live. That will be fun. And I'm always open to opportunities. I just did a new TV show. Megan Pormer has a new show that I've been on, and they've asked me to be on it quite a bit, and I'm interested in that. So I always keep the door open. And at the end of the day, I love my life. I mean, I wake up, I go to work. I used to go to the gym every day. Now we have a private gym in my condo, so I can still go there. I miss that. I miss my old life. When you say, what do I look forward to? I just want my old life back.
Unfortunately, that I don't know how much control we have over with the pandemic and whatnot, but it sounds like you're trying to tee up a very exciting and exceptional 2021, and hopefully things start opening up and then you'll get that too and be able to get back out and about and socializing again and back in the gym and doing what you do on a daily basis.
I would love that.
I know you talked about LEAP, and the success you've experienced has allowed you to support a lot of charitable efforts and help people. In addition to LEAP, I know there's one other major charity that you've been very involved with. Can you tell us about that and why you're so passionate about it?
Well, Smiles for Life happened approximately 20 years ago. There were a group of dentists called the Crown Council, and they told us that they wanted to do infomercials. We were able to get Garth Brooks to help us do these. And the idea was to do infomercials and tell people, hey, if you like to have a brighter smile and help a child, Smile for Life, call 1-877-4-SMILES, and you'll be directly connected to a dental office. So they asked us if we would sell them our whitening product. I invented Zoom, tooth whitening, not video conference. So we had Zoom and Night White and Day White and all these products. So when we heard what they were doing, we said, we like this so much, we are not selling you the product. We'll give it to you. So Garth and I did all the PSAs. We went out and we've raised over $44 million for children's charities through Smiles for Life and all the participating dentists in the Crown Council.
That's fantastic. I think it's such a great story when people can take what they love and, like you said earlier, what they used to earn and then use it to give back. It's just a tremendous reward for the hard work and the effort that you put in every day and all of the practice that you say, all the practice that you put in pays off, and then you get to turn it into some great deeds, and raising $44 million for children's charities is unbelievable.
Thank you.
So listen, Dr. Bill, we ask every guest who's on our show, because this is the Mitlin Money Mindset, the same last question, and that's, What did you do today that brought you joy and put you in the right mindset for success?
I think your podcast. Did anybody say that?
Not yet. No, you're the first.
Oh.
I appreciate that. So obviously we'll have all the information in the show notes. If people are looking to connect with you or looking to learn more about what you do and Leap, where can they go to find you?
I mean, for Leap, just go to www.leapfoundation.com. I'm probably the only person with over 1 million followers on Instagram who actually answers all of my own DMs. So if you want to reach me, just go on Instagram. It's Dr. Bill Dorfman, DRBILL Dorfman. I promise I'll answer.
Awesome. Well, listen, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. I thank you for sharing your story with our audience. It's a fantastic one, and I know that they'll find it very intriguing. So I thank you for your time, and I thank you for sharing.
Larry, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Make it a great day. I want to thank Dr. Bill for being a guest on the Mitlin Money Mindset Show. I hope you found our time together as inspiring as I did. My key takeaways were practice make permanent, and Dr. Bill's mantra, learn so you can earn, and then you can return. As you can tell, he has certainly practiced this in his own life and has made a huge impact. Be sure to check out the Leap Foundation at leapfoundation.com for your kids who are high schoolers and in college. And be sure to follow Dr. Bill on Instagram at Dr. Bill Dorfman. Thank you for joining us this week on the Mitlin Money Mindset. Make sure you visit our website at mitlinfinancial.com and be sure to smash the subscribe button so you don't miss a show. We encourage you to help others find our valuable content. And listen, please, don't keep us a secret. You can also schedule an Is There a Fit call right from our website or by using the link that you'll find in the description section of your podcast player or app. Be sure to join us for our next episode to learn more about the mindset needed to successfully plan for and live your best life before and through retirement.
The opinions voiced in the Mitlin Money Mindset Show with Lawrence Sprung are for general information only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal. No strategy ensures success or protects against loss. To determine what may be appropriate for you, consult with your attorney, accountant, financial or tax advisor prior to investing. Investment advisory services offered through CWM LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Guests on the Mitlin Money Mindset Show are not affiliated with CWM LLC.